And a good evening on this 27th of March, 2026, 23:33 p.m. That is 11:33 p.m. on a Friday night. Um, I'm fairly certain this is going to be my last time playing this game, and I'm just kind of giving my final thoughts on it. And one of the things, just many of the things that I dislike about it. And one of them is the fact that I'm at this screen again. Um, when I turn off the game, frustratingly, it is not saving my settings. Um, I've had to do this like 3 times now. Once on the first update, another time when I turned off the game. Um, like I didn't save it. I just quit out of the game because I know that it has an auto save. Um, it's not like Dark Souls that requires you to sign out, because you're online or whatever. Um, but I just stopped playing the game, and then the next time when I signed in, um, it defaulted to this screen, and I had to redo all of my settings again. And so the last time I played, I made sure to, um, you know, I saved my game manually, and then I went back to the title screen and turned off. So I'm going to see if this is still the case. So let's see what happens here. Um, I was watching Game Ranks yesterday, I think, um, and they had done a list of 10 things that people hate about the game. Um, and I think the people at Game Ranks, like I like Game Ranks. I don't always agree with their opinions, but I don't always agree with every um, writer's opinion on any kind of media, books, games, films. Um, that's natural. I love some movies that people absolutely hate. I hate movies that some movies that people love. Oh, well, this is different. This is faster. Maybe it's because I'm the girl. And my settings have been switched. So, how do I change them again? Options, settings. All right. So I have to turn the vibration off again because I hate vibration. I have to invert the y-axis. Um, and it's weird because it remembers some of the settings, which I think is bizarre. Doesn't matter. Um, I don't do anything here. I usually get rid of camera shake. And then previously, I had lowered the volume. Um, but the main ones are inverting the y-axis uh, and yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna apply these for like the fourth time. Now this is my first time logging into the game as the girl character here. So maybe that's why that opening sequence is shorter, because with Cliff it's so much longer. Um, and
I tip my cap to you.
I'm always confused as
And who's
to
been most kind?
where the save points are. So this is another thing that I hate is that this is not where um and the controls are so goofy I still can't remember them. I haven't played for a couple of days. I haven't played for like 3 days. Just because I've been too busy. Um I don't even think it's okay. Is it going to show the last quest? God, okay. Journal. Uh, now I can't even find it. I was trying to do the fishing quest. Okay, the marker. Um, is the quest gone now? Faction challenges, knowledge, where did it go? Uh, so yeah, I don't know where it was. And actually, the fishing quest that I had tried to do, it's the one where the lady wants you to catch a fish to make a like a saddle or something, and I don't even remember where that is. I think it's up here. Um, but you know, I found her poster. Huh? No, get. Ugh. And see, this is another thing. Like, this is another thing that I hate about the game. Is so many things mapped to the same thing. Like, okay, I didn't want to take the lavender, and now I've got to like move my camera around specifically just to get on my stupid horse. Um, the button inputs on this game are just beyond frustrating, and the fact that I have to hold down the button irritates me even more. No, she's not up here. Or wait, is she over there? Anyway, she wanted me to go fish for her, so that she could make this saddle for a horse. And I found the poster, and it said that, you know, you get a free fishing rod for doing it. And so
You want some?
when I did it, the fishing rod did not spawn in. And I don't have money anymore, because when the game updated, is this, yeah, when the game updated, all of my money except for like $2 disappeared. Now, here's the thing, like, I know that there are going to be bugs in games, and that doesn't, the money thing doesn't bother me too much. But, quest items not spawning in, that is irritating to me. Is it down here, I wonder? The controls. Let me see. No, it's not here. It's just like that stuff bugs me. Now, again, I think it's pretty, even though I'm not running it at like super high settings. I mean, I'm playing this on a base PS5.
I'm going to enjoy this.
Um,
You wanted this.
I like playing as the girl, but like I hate this camera log-on system.
You down.
Like, you know, I was trying to switch enemies to attack, but I couldn't do it. And again, I have to hold this down to loot the enemies. I can't just push the button like that to do it. Last night, or a couple of days ago when I last played this, I was trying to pick up some ore that I had just mined, and the prompt like this just like would show up for like a split second, and then it would change to something else. And I spent probably 30 seconds trying to pick something up. I think it's silly that there are so many things to collect. Like each time you see a grasshopper or something, like you stop to see like, oh, what is this? What is this? What is this? Do I need this? Like, I would imagine later in the game this is going to be really frustrating. I hate it right now because it's just there's so many things that distract me. Now, like this kind of stuff pop in, that doesn't bother me. I don't much care about that. But it all just seems the controls for me are like the biggest, the most egregious factor. I want to see if I can try to find this quest again. I will say this, playing as the girl, I like it a lot better. I like how she plays. I like her kind of double jump thing that she has. I like her little helicopter thing. I think that's cool. But I hate that you can't advance the story with her. I feel like the game disincentivizes you from playing as other characters. I don't even know why I'm playing as this character. Like, yeah, she joined the party, but like she doesn't really have any agency. Like, why is she a playable character? Why isn't somebody else a playable character? Like, who is she? The game doesn't really tell us that much. I want to go jump off of this bridge. Let's see what happens. You know, it's frustrating because I think there is a lot. There's a lot that I could like about this game, I think. But there's just so much to dislike about it. And I think that's what frustrates me the most. I just feel like this is too much of an MMO. It's an MMO wearing the skin of a single player game. everything here is gamified, like an MMO is. And while, I don't have a problem with MMOs. I mean, I played Black Desert Online was the very first MMO I ever played, and I enjoyed it. Had a terrible story, but the gameplay was really fun. It didn't have this awful camera that kept your character in the lower quarter of the screen. And when you zoom in, like, who wants this camera? Who wants a camera with the character, like, and then it moves back automatically, and then it zooms in. And then you've got, let's pick up a crab, I guess. So, okay, yay, now I've learned about crabs. I guess this is the more innocent way to learn about it. But then you've got this view, which, who is going to use that camera view? Like, and then it just goes back to this. So it's like, why even have this as an option? It makes no sense. And this is fine, I could see a lot of people wanting to play it as first person, but then the minute I open up my, I draw my weapon, it goes back to third person. So again, I have to put my weapon back to go into first person. So what's the purpose of having first person unless it's really just to, see things that you can take, but then it defaults back to third person. And so if you want to play the game in first person again, then you've got to click to go back to it. So I would imagine that this is very frustrating for people that would want that option. Now for me, I prefer third person. It's actually one of the reasons why Cyberpunk did not resonate with me, is because, I spent all this time creating a cool character that I never get to see, which is a bummer. I mean, it's still a great game. I need to finish it, but I've never been as incentivized to finish that game because, again, I don't see my character. I don't relate to my character, so there's that. But I'm not saying it's a bad game, because I really do like Cyberpunk. I'm just saying that I don't like it as much as I think I could like it. So, anyway, her traversal, I love. Like, it's really fun exploring the world as girl. So again, what am I going to take? Like, let's see what this is. It's probably like another butterfly or something. Oh, so I got raspberry, but there was something moving. So what was it? Can I find it again? And now it's gone. So there was something on the ground that I didn't see, or that I didn't know what it was, and I picked up a raspberry instead. Yay. Is there a chest here? So, okay, so it looks like there's a chest. I do like how she looks up at the camera. I think it's kind of weird though, but whatever. And then this camera position is odd. Okay, thick hide, copper. Okay, that's good. So, something a little interesting here. I mean, the X... Can I destroy this? Oh, and here's another thing too, with like a lot of the enemies, like when I'm in a fight, gosh, she moves so fast. See, she's totally unlike Cliff here, in that I just barely push this and she takes off running. Whereas Cliff just kind of like lumbers along. I'm just barely tapping up. Tap. Well, tap. And then she just runs forward. Totally opposite of Cliff. So, which again, I can appreciate how characters will move differently, but like again, I would rather play as her because of that. Her movement is just so fluid. It feels way better. Hold on, than Cliff. I never tried wearing the mask with her. I think I'll keep it on just for fun. Let's see if I can cut down a tree. I had tried cutting a tree with her before. Oh, okay. Now it's gonna work. Oh! I'm gonna use the big sword this time. So, wow.
Okay, this one's feisty.
So, it doesn't feel as good using these kinds of weapons with her, so I'm gonna switch back. And again, I mean, like, I can appreciate that.
You can't conquer me.
Alright. But yeah, I don't like that most of the time when I'm fighting, my camera is kind of like above like this. Which, ugh, now this is making it hard to loot because she just takes off running so quickly. I have to loot from kind of far away. It's... ugh. So anyway, these controls are frustrating. Now, I will say this, like, it's... I do like that when she uses the big sword, she's more lumbering and not as fun to play. Like, this is clearly the way to play as her, you know, with this moveset. Like, it feels good. Now, of course, I don't know about Unka yet, because I haven't gotten that far, but... yeah, ooh, there's a whole lot of bandits up there. I'm not gonna go fighting those now, because they'll probably kill me. But so that's another thing that I dislike. I will also mention, like, I hate these systems here. You've got like the map with like journal and quests. Like I always feel like, you know, I push on this and I'm thinking like, oh, this should show my quests. But no, to see the quests, you have to go to the journal, and then you select, you have different buttons for like main quest, faction quest, challenges, knowledge, notifications, blah, 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 blah. And then you've got all of these little question marks that tell you about all the new things that you've learned. And again, this is something that I dislike because I don't want to go back and have to read all of these again. Try to find a better way to introduce this stuff. Like, it just takes me out of the game. It doesn't world build, I should say, for me. It just basically reminds me like, oh, I'm playing an open world, you know, video game or whatever. And so again, like all these things are popping up for, like do I really need to see cockroach? Um, I I don't know. Um, but you know, I love doing my little flying thing. I think this is great. Um, there are lots of little systems that I do think are really fun. But I mean, I guess they're better in other games. I played Breath of the Wild. Um, I'm not a big Zelda person. I was back in the day. In the NES days, I loved. Uh, I wanted to try to. Yeah, okay, so you can kill birds that way. This is the first thing I've ever tried to skin, or first bird I've tried to skin. Oh no, it's not. But I can carry it. Like this kind of stuff I don't mind. Like this is okay. I've, can probably deliver this and give it to somebody, I guess. I don't know. But now why is she walking so slowly? Well, now this is interesting because now she's walking super slowly. Why? Does it have to do with this green thing around her? What is this? Okay, so she moves more quickly with the weapon out. But when the weapon isn't out, okay, she moves slowly. That's another thing too. I wish we could default to having her move along more quickly rather than having to push the button each time to do it. I would rather have a button be pushed to walk, or just, you barely kind of move the stick, like I'm just barely pushing up on it right now to have her walk. But now I'm pushing up with the full force of the stick, and yeah, she's still walking. The lighting in it, I am also a little bit frustrated by. Again, it's 10:39 p.m., but it's very easy to see. Um, I don't feel like it gets dark until like 3 a.m. or something. And so the actual darkness just lasts for a short period of time. That's more of a nitpick. I don't think it's as much of a gameplay problem, but it's a nitpick for me. I wouldn't hold that against the game. But I don't mind the storage space issue so much. I know a lot of people have complained about that. I do think it's silly that certain things take up storage that shouldn't. Um, like posters, you know, each poster takes up a storage slot or something like that. Um, that's not a problem that I have. But like this is silly. A butterfly takes up a storage space. A crab takes up a storage space, and so does, you know, a mallet. I could see a mallet taking up a storage space, but, or look, I have two butterflies. Can't, even though they're different butterflies, they're still butterflies. Can I not have them take up the same space? Um, oh, look, now I have a fishing rod. Where did the fishing rod come from? Because I don't, let's see, is the quest? Oh my god! The fishing rod has appeared. Uh... Wow. Can't believe it. It was not... So I did not want my horse. Okay, close that. Maybe I should just run with my weapon out. That'll make things much easier. Okay, so the quest marker disappeared. And like, why does knowledge show up under... I guess I can understand why it shows up under journals. Faction quests. Is this a faction quest? Okay. Annabelle's quest. Okay. So now I've got the mark on it. Alright, let's see if we can go catch the fish, which I could not do before. I did not have the... I did not have the fishing rod last time. Believe me, I looked all over my inventory. It was incredibly frustrating. I wish I had been recording when I was playing this, because then I could at least go back to the footage and double check. But I am about 90% sure that fishing rod did not appear in my... Oh, okay. Well, maybe we can't climb up here. I do like that she climbs faster and more nimbly, so that's something. Although I still think the climbing mechanics in these games are weird. I used to rock climb when I was... oh, I just barely missed. I tried rock climbing in my early college years. It is very challenging, and I'm also scared of heights. But yeah, rock climbing is not easy like that. So I do want to at least try the fishing, and then I think I'll give this game up. Maybe if there is like some updates that change the controls or whatever. I don't know. Like there's just too many. I do like this little mini castle. It's cute. I don't know what purpose it serves, but I don't know. I'm sure it's something. Again, there's all these little markers on the map that I don't know what they mean. So now it's kind of starting to get dark.
My child.
The moon doesn't change either. Again, it's a nitpick.
My child.
But I feel like if there's all this other detail in the game, like, have your moon change. I don't know. she's just so much more fun to traverse the map. Can she walk up without sliding off? I also do like the music in this game a lot. I don't know why she's balancing like that. Okay. Wait, why are you doing that? Hold on. Come on. What? I couldn't get her to get out of the crouching position. The controls are just so finicky. Come on. Okay, whatever. I'll try going someplace else. Looks like I could climb up here. What are some other complaints that people had? And like, why does she jump so high here and not in other places? I don't quite understand that, but again, it's a nitpick. Oh. It's funny because I got into, I don't want to say an argument, but 1:39 a.m. See, this just looks like sun to me. And this is not dark. I know that I had talked before in one of my when I was playing this. I don't know if it was on my YouTube live stream or not, but I had talked about how when I lived in Hawaii, that there were moon shadows that were cast, and there is such a thing in Hawaii as night surfing. I surfed, but I never went night surfing, mostly because I'm not a great surfer. I was more of a bodyboarder. And the moon would get bright enough to illuminate the sky. But if I'm looking at this just looks like daytime to me, with the exception of the stars being out. I do like the Milky Way. Like I guess this is what frustrates me so much about this game, is that there really are a lot of things to like about it. There's a lot of thought put into some of the systems, and baffling decisions put into others that just beguile me. I actually like walking around more than I do riding on the horse. I mean, at least for now, because I like the exploration aspect. And I can't use my helicopter if I'm on a horse. And it's fun to use my helicopter. Okay, so I think down here is where I'm supposed to fish. I hope it is. And it looks like it's not. I guess I need to go up. Okay, fair enough. So, yeah, there was this guy like in the YouTube comments that was complaining about how Falcon from Game Ranks hadn't played too many hours in, and he was complaining about certain things. And the guy was like, I love this game, blah blah blah. Uh, his opinion is invalid because he hasn't played it long enough. And so I made a comment that was like, an opinion is an opinion. Like, it doesn't make anybody's opinion less than valid. Like, if you don't like something, you don't like it. It doesn't automatically invalidate your opinion. But he was like, no, some opinions are less important because they haven't invested as much time in a game. And in my mind, I'm thinking like, okay, so if I have played a game 30 minutes longer than you, my opinion is more important than yours. Like, it's such a silly thing. What am I supposed to do now? It says check your surroundings. I don't remember how to check my surroundings. Is it this? I don't even remember what this is supposed to do. I mean, it looks kind of cool, but what does it do? Let's see. Okay. Why is the fishing rod next to... It's a good thing I checked here because I was just like, oh, my gun is here. And then I noticed that there was, I could make other selections. And then I noticed the fishing rod. So, okay, I'm going to concede this. Maybe when I played this game a couple of days ago, I was given the fishing rod. But when I was playing it, because all of the other tools are up here, I was looking for the fishing rod up here. But it's down here. And there was nothing that told me that. So I'm going to concede that I very well could have been wrong on this. But it still doesn't make me like the game anymore because, it over tutorializes some things and doesn't tutorialize others. Control the character with this L2. So I guess I need to check my surroundings first, which I know when I came here last night, or a couple nights ago, I did see the fish. I just can't remember how to check my surroundings. How do I check my surroundings? Okay, let's go to others, guides, controls. Horse riding, obstacles, moving items, getting direction, examine. So do I need to turn my lamp off to check my surroundings? Okay, so there's the fish, I think. So I think what I need to do is turn off the lamp. Okay, rice fish, that's not the one that I need. How do I check my surroundings? I love this. How many people don't know how to do basic movement in a video game? Concentrate light. So that's not what I need to do. The lantern, using the lantern. This was a dumb thing to raise the banner. It was so frustrating to do. And again, it's like it's gamified. Like you don't need to gamify raising a banner. This should not be a gameplay mechanic to have to press triangle and circle at the same time to use nature's grasp and then press X repeatedly to lift it faster and then use L1 to target the stand and then use the square button to plant the banner in the pike. Like, really? We don't need to do this. Stand over the banner, press X, the character puts the banner in the pipe. Done. So, I don't know how to check my surroundings now. I don't feel like looking up how to do it. I don't care. So, and that is why I am giving up on this game, because I feel like if I'm going to play this game, I will have to play it every day. Otherwise, ooh, what is this? What did I just do? Oh, I committed a crime. Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. Anyway. Good for me. I'm a criminal now. What time is it? 5:56 a.m. This, depending on where you live in the world, this would look like 5:56 a.m. So, yeah, basically what I'm saying is like the controls here are so specific that I would need to play this game every day, or I would forget them. Because the last time I played this game was Wednesday, and as of this recording, this is Friday. The first day of my week-long holiday, in fact. So, I like this attack a lot. Like, I think this is a fun attack. Doink. Actually, wasn't really until I saw her gameplay that I got interested in playing this game because I saw it and I was like, ah, okay. She looks kind of cool to play as, whereas Cliff does not. One of my favorite classes when I played Black Desert Online, I had two favorite classes. One was the Witch, and the other was the Kunoichi. Um, they were both a blast. The Witch was just so much fun. And when I saw this girl doing, oops, that's not what I wanted to do. When I saw this girl doing like these kind of attacks, it just immediately made me think of the Witch. I like this attack. There's just like games, the fighting is, I would say it's mostly good, but like when I fought the first boss as Cliff, that boss moved around so quickly, but Cliff was so slow, and it was like I basically had to spam food the whole time I was fighting the boss, and I didn't feel like it had anything to do with my skill as a player. And I've heard similar complaints from other people that to get through some of the later boss fights, like pretty much it's just you've got to rely on food because the bosses get so difficult. And again, I'm not against difficult bosses, although if you have followed me, you know how much I dislike boss fights anyway. Not all boss fights, but many of them. I just, I like this. I like exploring. This should be a game that is completely up my alley. Um, Fun, exploration. Bloodstone mineral. See, I wanna like skin you. Okay. Ugh. Come on. Okay, let me try putting this away. Okay, now I can skin you. So a raccoon? Small, okay, raccoon. Alright. So I've just learned about raccoons. Good for me. Let's see if I can mine from here. I cannot. Why can't I mine from here? Like I'm literally right here. Well, maybe if I go down here, I can mine. Aha. Let's see if I can... Ooh, I could take it. I actually got it. How easy will this one be? Come on. Mine. Take it before it falls. Okay, good job. Alright, I caught all three of them. So again, like, I just feel like this is a little too MMO-y. Is that a word? I like how all of the stuff stays on your back. Like, it's cool. But uh, I want to explore. I want to see the different regions, but I don't want to put up with a lot of the crap.
I take no pleasure in this.
Voice acting is also good, but like all of the side quests, the characters like over emote everything, which is also kind of silly, I think. I've also heard complaints that it's pretty much like the only things that you fight in the game are bandits. Like you're just constantly fighting bandits. You don't get a lot of monsters or other things. That was something I liked about The Witcher. You had like a good variety of enemies. I think this game would have been a lot better if it would have tried to emulate The Witcher more instead of trying to emulate The Witcher and Breath of the Wild and Skyrim and, you know, like all these millions and millions of different games. Because, okay, I've got to select this again. And here we go. Take the iron. Okay, I was able to, now I have to like, I just feel like there's so much where my camera is over the character's head. I spend a lot of time this way rather than this way, like when I'm doing actions in the world. And then she's really far away, like, you know, I can't get it right. And maybe the purpose of this is to show off the world, which again, even though it's running on base PS5, I still think looks really pretty. But yeah. And also, my other pet peeve is the photo mode. It's a small thing. I don't like how you have to go through different like screens to get to the photo mode. And also the fact that the photo mode really sucks. Like, it's literally just take a picture of your character standing. And that's it. This is my photo mode. So, this will be my last screenshot for this game. Because I just don't think I want to play it anymore. It's time to delete this game. So, my final thoughts. This is a pretty game. It has so much potential that I just believe was squandered. I had a feeling it was going to be like this because of the hype cycle. The more a game is hyped, I tend to think the worse it's going to be. Or not the worst, but like the more disappointing it's going to be because people are going to keep expecting a lot from it. I think probably this was part of the downfall of Starfield and why that game did not resonate with people the way that other Bethesda games have. is that it was just hyped for so long, and when it came out, it couldn't live up to the expectations. Cyberpunk was the same way. It was hyped and hyped and hyped and hyped, and then when it came out, it was a mess. Now, that game ultimately course corrected, which is great. But I think CD Projekt Red had a lot of goodwill that they had to earn back, and good for them for doing it. Would I like to see Pearl Abyss do that with this game? 100%. I I would love it if this game would get some updates, maybe add some characters in. Here's what I would do if I were the one in charge of this game. I would split the systems between 5 or 6 characters. So the girl is good at this. Unka is good at this. Cliff is good at this. Have a couple of other characters that each have their own specialties. And you shift between those characters for different things that you want to do. Any of those characters can advance the story. Some can advance the story easier than others. So for example, maybe there is a scenario where you need to fight a boss or something, and it would be much easier to do as Cliff. But you like playing as Damien or whatever this girl's name. I don't even know her name. Does it say? Yeah, Damien. Maybe it would be easier to fight the boss with Damien, but you're like, oh, I want to try it with Cliff, even though I know that it'll be harder. Like, it's sort of like your challenge that you want to do. Or maybe there are certain sections of the game where the traversal or something is better with one of the characters. This girl is clearly better at climbing mountains than Cliff is. What if you had a section of the game that required like a little bit more specific mountain climbing traversal? That could be really cool. And so you need to use this character. You have a wizard, maybe, who is not good at fighting, but he has all these like spells for manipulating the environment or something like that. So he's really good for the puzzle solving elements of the game. So you split all of these systems between different characters. So then it becomes a game where all of the characters have a purpose. And rather than putting all of these systems onto one character, you diversify. And I think that is something that could be really interesting. It would make a really big improvement on this game. Now, that is very unlikely to happen. I'm sure that there will be some streamlining of this game, but it will not be enough for me. So I think this is probably going to be like a big Bandit territory thing. I think this is like there's a boss fight here that I've kind of seen before. Now again, another example. You've got all this stuff in the distance. It looks great. This looks great. Blah 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 blah. But yeah, I'm just kind of done. Oh yeah, you can see here. So it's like I've got to kill all these bandits. Which I am not going to do. Um, Maybe what I'll do very quickly, just in case I do pick this game up later, is I will ride out of this territory. Go someplace different. So that just in case I do want to pick this game up again, which is, I think, highly unlikely, I won't be in the... Oh, my horse lived through that. Good on my horse. Just so you know, I am not a proponent of killing animals. I just think it's kind of funny in video games sometimes when these kinds of things happen. So anyway, this seems like a good place to stop. But yeah, thanks for watching this. My final comments on this game, which you know, I've been talking about it for, it looks like 1 hour and 7 minutes now, which is a long time to listen to someone rant and rave about it. If you did make it this far, I am curious if you like the game. And if you think that, like, what you think of my thoughts. Are some of these things fixable? Am I too nitpicky? You know, these kinds of things. How stupid is my opinion because I didn't play as long as you? I think that's the only way that I would not respond to you, is if you say like, well, you only played, I don't even know how many hours of the game I've played. I think I've played like maybe 6 hours. And if you say like, well, you've only played 6 hours, so your opinion is invalid. Well, I had fun for a couple of those hours and then I got bored. I can't help it that I got bored. It doesn't mean the game is bad. It just means that for me it's frustrating. I do know that a lot of people like this game. I'm glad they do. As I think I said earlier, I do believe there is a lot to like here. But for me personally, the like to dislike ratio is disproportionate. There are more things that I dislike than there are things that I like. And the things that I dislike just happen to be things that in video games in general are things that drive me nuts. Holding down a button for a long period of time to initiate an action. Having multiple actions mapped to the same buttons. These are things that drive me nuts. So I think no matter how good this game was, even if the story was fantastic, I probably would not be able to stick with it. Because of those things. It's why I hated like the button thing. That was something that I hated about No Man's Sky. It was something that I hated about Neo, although at least with Neo, you could decrease the time that you would need to push down on some of the buttons, especially Neo 3. I didn't play Neo 2, so I don't know about that one, but I don't think you could make that adjustment on the original Neo. So, yeah, just the things that the systems that are in place are just not systems that I like. Um, a- and this should have been a sale purchase for me, as it was originally going to be. But the initial reviews of it, I think were false positives. I think they highlighted too many of the good things and didn't really pick apart some of the bad things. And maybe that's because, um, outlets didn't get sufficient enough time with the game. I don't know. Um, I do know that I feel like sites like Gaming Bolt are really just kind of propaganda sites for games. I don't trust them as much because they seem to run a lot of what I would consider to be advertorials for games, and there were a lot of advertorials for this one. And then ultimately their review was a bit middling. I would say it was overall a positive review, but it had a lot of complaints in it. But they also ran like, I don't know, 2 or 3 episodes like per week talking about the game that, to me, if you read between the lines, they are advertorials. So, and if you don't know what I mean by that, it's basically it's an editorial. It's an sorry, it's an advertisement that is disguised as an editorial. Um, they're very dishonest, um, and they are basically designed to generate excitement, which this game did a lot of. So, anyway, that is enough of my thoughts on this. Always happy to hear other people's thoughts. If you find this review many months or many years down the road, which is probably the case because I don't promote this channel, tell me how it's changed, because I am likely to have not jumped into it again. Or if there are changes, I will jump into it again, and it will be interesting to compare this video to whatever things have changed in the future. Hopefully for the better. I do want this game to succeed. I mean, financially it already has. I think it has made a significant profit thus far. I don't know if it's made back its cost of production, but it's made money, and I suspect will continue to do so. And if this game doesn't, Pearl Abyss still has Black Desert, which I think is still going pretty strong. I may be wrong on that. But anyway, once again, I am going to wind this down because it's 1 minute 14 seconds. Thank you again for watching. I hope you have a great day, a great night, wherever you are, and whenever you are. Take care, everybody.